Nicely taken by Ellard. Really tapping play, and he's got it on line.
Curnow off to Ellard, who runs to 50. Drop punt on its way. Has it got the carry? Yes! Scores level!
We're at the Visy Park Carlton Footy Club, but it's about what you do outside of the game. Tell us, a lot of people, all they see is a footballers playing footy. What do you do outside playing the game?
Yeah, I'm into my carpentry. I've completed about 2.5 years of my carpentry apprenticeship. It's something that I done before I got drafted, so I've tried to continue it part-time over here whilst I'm playing footy, because I think it's an important part of your life. Footy's only going to last so long, so it's very important to do something outside of the club.
What do you like about it, Dave, as far as, because it is a completely different thing to what you do playing and training footy? What do you like about the studying you're doing?
Yeah, I find it as a good release from footy. I go out on site and work with a total different bunch of blokes that don't talk footy too much, or they might sledge you for a bit of banter and that for playing for Carlton, but I find it just enjoyable to get out and do something different, and I enjoy the hands-on aspect of carpentry and walking into a building site with nothing and leaving knowing that you've done a bit of work and seeing the final product.
So how often do you do this, your study and your work, etc., and what would a typical study period be for you?
Yeah, so I normally get out to Croydon, which is a fair way away for TAFE, but we get out there. I go out with Jeremy Ellard. We sort of change carpool. So we get out there probably around 4 o'clock, leave around 9:30 at night, and that will be on Tuesday nights. And then on our day off, we'll try to get out and put a few hours in on site and do a bit more practical stuff. So we try to make sure that we do our theory at home, because they've allowed us to do it over the internet, which is great by Swinburne. And when we get out to TAFE, it's all hands-on, doing the practical side, which is great.
So who's the best, you or Jeremy Ellard?
Ellard is good, but I think I've got him covered in nailing, so I swing the hammer a bit better than what he does.
That's good. What about when it's all done, when your footy career's over? Hopefully it's a long time before we have to talk about that or think about that too much. What are you going to do with this qualification? What are your plans, do you think?
Yeah, I'll try to get out on site and work full-time for a while, because obviously I'm going to have to do a bit of full-time work to make sure I tick off my hours, and then go into probably my own business. I recently sat a Cert 4 in building construction too, so hopefully I can start the own building company up, which would be great.
With having done a bit of work, studying I should say, before you came over here, have you been a bit of an advocate for some of the other players, do you think, to tell them how it is? Because a lot of guys do come straight in from school, and it's a matter of what am I going to choose to do. And I guess you've been one of those guys who've been able to say, look, point guys in the right path because you've already been out there in the workforce?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got some full-time welfare people at the club like Rod Ashman that pushes it pretty hard to make sure that all the boys are doing something outside of the club. They're either studying, or a lot of boys are taking up trades, which is great. So I think you look at blokes, when I first come to the club, it was Nick Stevens, who done his whole apprenticeship as a landscaper and had a successful business, and now you look at Carazzo as well. I think his electrical company's flying at the moment, so if you need a carpenter, electrical, get out to Clap, I think it's called, so he's enjoying that side as well.
Do you see Andy as being probably an example of a guy who's going to succeed well after footy through what he's done through his TAFE and his studying and everything? Yeah,
I think so. Andy's a very hard worker, as you can tell by the way he plays the game, but outside he's set himself up nicely. He's got his own company in that now, and I think it'll be very easy for him once, hopefully not for a while, he's just signed a new contract, so hopefully once he finishes he'll step straight into that perfectly.
And I mean for you, from a football viewpoint, straight up, it is important to know that no matter what you're doing, in football in particular, it's going to stop one day, so you have to have something else behind you. Yeah,
definitely. I think you look, I think the average lifespan of an AFL football is around the 4-year mark now, so it's something that, really when you think about it, you're only one bad injury away or something like that. It can turn pretty quickly, so you got to make sure that you've set yourself up outside so you've got something to walk straight into.
From a general perspective, what would you say to someone who's considering doing a TAFE course or training qualification?
Yeah, I think it's a great outlet, especially for us AFL players. It's something different that we do. So it's great to get out and get your hands dirty and realise what it's really like out there. And I just enjoy the aspects of going out and knocking something up and walking away, saying that I've built that. And it's also enjoyable when the boys ask you to pop around their house and fix a few things. I've built a couple of carports for Noof and a few of the boys, so it's always a bit of fun.
Good practical skills, mate, to have.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very good. And just looking at the people who don't have football to start off with life. I mean, for any people there, I mean, you're obviously a real advocate for what's happening in the TAFE and getting these qualifications and giving yourself something to do with life.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's hard yards at the start when you first start as an apprentice. You're not on much, but it's well worth it once you finish your time. I think it's never going to stop building this place, so there's always going to be work out there. So it's a great industry to get into.
Well, all I can say is, Dave, it's a pity I didn't know more about what you were doing before I just did a little bit of renovations at home. I could have got it done a lot cheaper, but well done and congratulations on what you're doing and your work with TAFE and certainly good luck with your football, but also good luck with your future in your building.
No worries, thank you.